let's see if a little heat will make it pop. Hope so. This thing's hot. I haven't even had it directed at that, so gives you an idea. It's certainly got some heat to it. Yeah, that just made the gap a little bit bigger. Oh. Nice. Well, it's locked up in there, which is fairly typical, so I guess we'll scrap this idea and put it in the shop press and shove it out that way. Okay, we're going to see if we can get it started here on the shop press. Now, there is, let's see if we can show you here. There's a good 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch here to the bottom from the pin to here, so we at least can get it moving that far. So I don't have to worry about the plate being directly below that. And I want as much support as possible right now. The upper fulcrum pin control arm mount up here is actually really close, and I can't quite get the pin straight under. So I'm going to get it close as I can. The bottom here is perpendicular with this, so it is pushing straight down. But we'll see what happens. This thing may not even notice it and just push it right through. Or it may take a ton of pressure and explode in my face. Who knows? We'll see. I'm sure that socket should be more than strong enough, but we'll find out here. There we go. There it went. Sweet. So now I can worry about, you can see the pins down flush there. Now I can worry about whether or not I have something under there. Oh. And that won't go around. Let's see if, the point of having a whole lot of tools is for options. That's all there is to it. Yeah, so that's not going to... the difference in plate heights isn't going to help anything. I was hoping that that saddle would reach around the thing, but it's not. So I need to get that over that... let's try that. You know, that just might work. That just might work. Well, let's see. Two things to watch for. One, I want to make sure the top here doesn't, that I don't press down on it and start breaking it. And then, yeah, that's what I thought. I would have wedged that socket right into there. So, let's, oh, damn it day. Well, let's get it a little bit further down there. stack those. Well, no choice. Got to go find some short extension there that will fit in that hole. Well, it should have dropped out of there. It's not pushing. It's not a hard push, so I can take it out and hammer on it. But yeah, there, it's dropping out. Okay, so this piece. Oh, hate greasy parts. Okay. I'll have to go pry that out a little bit. Oh, I got the other sockets in there acting like Kingpins. There we go. Lots of noise, lots of mess. Also, too, ouch. I don't know if you noticed, the bearing came out of the bottom here. Actually, I'll explain that in a minute. Well, there's a bit of curiosity, confusion, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this thing came apart. These two shim washers were up on top. Now, my past experience, they were supposed to be on the bottom. I've been looking at the book, the factory manual, and it's not real clear. It says to jack up on the bottom. This is the bottom down where the steering arm is. It says to jack up on the bottom of the spindle a little bit and then measure your clearance. So this bearing will be in here. Then it says to lift up on that, measure the clearance with a feeler gauge, and then select the proper shim. And so you want, it says, standard clearance, what you're shooting for with the shims in there basically, is 0.0016 inch. That's a thousandth and a half. So when you put that together, there's not going to be any perceivable play in there. And just as a note here too, do not throw these away. And heck, you can see here on this one, you might have to tap that flat a little bit. It was in the hole when the Kingpin got pushed through. So, and it's not shiny metal, so it didn't happen now. It's nothing that rubbed while taking it apart. The other one a little bit too. Anyway, I've found that sometimes there's enough wear, discrepancy, whatever, that when you put it back together, you don't have enough shims in the kit. So do not throw your old shims away. This Kingpin, you can catch it with your fingernail there, so it's definitely got some wear to it, but the bushings is what's really worn on it. Anyway, another note as long as I'm here, and I'll try to remember to say this when I do the installation. Anyway, if you look at this bearing closely, you'll see that basically it's hooded. Okay? You want to put it into where this opening is facing down, so although any water coming down to that stuff doesn't collect in the bearing. Okay? The book even says to make sure that it's done that way, so just wanted to point that out. So let's see what we can do about getting some bushing. Oh, that's nice. The bushing's in there wrong anyway. Looks like the top one's okay. Oh, I take that back. It's in there correctly. I thought they had to be reversed top and bottom, but we're fine. Anyway, there's a grease groove in there that needs to be up, and it lines up with the Zerk fittings and that stuff. So, well, that's about it for. Just another quick note here. The reason I never quite finished the thought of the shims top or bottom. If the shims are on the top, then every time this bounces, stuff like that, these are going to, if there's any drag whatsoever, these are going to rotate back and forth and back and forth, and they are going to act like a bearing surface. Now, when the grease goes away, they're going to just rub and they're going to wear out, and you're basically going to have no shims in there. Whereas if they are on top or bottom of the bearing down here, The bearing does all the rolling. The shims will not get worn that way. The only difference is that, then this surface and the one under here will wear if there's not enough grease. But all of the load on the spindle should be pushing up. So if there's going to be any gap, there should be a gap here. But it shouldn't be very significant. And as soon as you squirt some grease in there, the grease will fill in here. Now this is just my opinion, my take on it. The book's not exactly clear. It kind of makes it sound like it goes at top. Maybe somebody else out there can verify that, and I'll look around and see if I can find another reference, see if there's something a little bit clearer. But if I don't find something before I put it back together, I will basically put the bearing in and then put the shim washers like that. And let it go like that.